everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Every now and again we talk about money, and I know it's a subject that immediately turns people off, or perhaps you just clicked out of curiosity, because I use a word in the title of this video which I think really calls into focus the true relationship that we have with money, and that's values. Now, and it's all about how to align your values with your money, with your relationship with money. And we all have complex relationships with money, right? I mean, I, like many of you, did not have a very a wealthy upbringing. We were very poor. We didn't have a lot of money for anything, just the basic survival things. And so for me, money has always been a stress point, and kind of something that I had to always reflect on and breathe through, and it really, even to this day. So I think that that's something that we all have to deal with, or many of us have to deal with. But when I think about this article, it's by Virginia, Oh, her name is Virginia Baker Wolf. And she, one of our bloggers, she wrote this article about why it's important to align your values with your relationship with money. So what's a value? So values are things like kindness, integrity, empathy, resilience, gratitude, authenticity. They're the things, like, if you say, what's important to you? Well, what's important to me is kindness, compassion. And those things are, well, as you get older, of course, now we're in our 60s and 70s and 80s and older, we actually, are pretty clear about what things are the non-negotiables. When we're making a decision about something, if it's not based on our core values, maybe there's only 2 or 3 of them that are absolute non-negotiables, we actually, will not accept it, or we won't do it, or we reject it. So, do you ever think about your values? Like, what's really, really important to you? Authenticity for me, being real, as I said, the values of kindness and compassion, honesty. Honesty is a big one for me. I think trust is something that we've all had to deal with in our lives. But if you do ever think about it, and are you honoring your values in your life? Now, it doesn't, even if we don't even talk about money, even if we just talk about in your life in general, like your friends, where you live, your relationships with family, your relationships with friends, are they grounded in your values? And so, I think that the extension of that to your money and your financial situation is really important. And basically what Virginia's talking about in this article, which I encourage you to read because it's a really good article, is basically that if you're not living aligned to your values with, and you haven't got it clear what the relationship is between that and your money, that you will be spending money on things that are not aligned to your true values. So, I guess you could say, if for example, that, being authentic kind of negates my purchase of makeup because I'm just me, and who needs makeup if you want to be authentic? I'm just me. But then you can go into definitions of, well, then my authenticity includes the things I like to adorn myself with. That's part of me. So, it's a very tricky little, discussion, because presenting your real authentic self in ways where your money aligns with your values, that's challenging. But Virginia's argument and discussion is that it empowers you. It helps you make decisions. If you've already, decided that this, does not align with your true values, then you won't purchase it, or you won't give money in a way that doesn't, resonate. Like, you won't give money to a person or a place or a group that, just doesn't match your values. And I can think of lots of examples of those kinds of choices that we make every day in our lives about how to spend our money. But if you're feeling, about money, stressed, out of control, worried, anxious, then maybe just look at where you're spending your money and how aligned it is to your true values. Now, the problem, the challenge is that in our society, especially when we were growing up, there was a lot of pressure to conform to our society, to purchase things in order to establish status, recognition, acceptance, all these things. We had to have a house. We needed to buy a car. We needed to buy clothing. We need to go on holidays. All those things that we decided, or that somehow in our value system decided, were important values. But then when we get older and we think about it, did I really, really need that? Want that? Was it really true to myself? Did I really need to buy that, whatever it was, to prove to someone that I was, I don't know, wealthy, or that I had status, or that I was, a good person. I don't know. There's a quote here. I wanted to read it because it's an example of this that Virginia gives. If freedom, independence, and creativity, for example, are important to you, freedom, independence, creativity, but you're tied to a job working 60 hours a week where you don't make any decisions, there's no opportunity for creativity, you're under the control of another person's requirements and demands, you're not independent, you're not creative, and you're not free. So why are you doing that job? And that's, of course, everybody goes, well, because I need the money, or because it's the only thing I could find. And that's so true. I understand that's the reality of our lives, but you can then especially as you get a little older, and maybe, you're reevaluating now how you're spending your money, where it's going, you can actually make a decision. I'm going to leave that job because what I really want to do is I want to teach children art in a private school or a little group a school that I'm setting up, and I want to be able to travel 6 months of whatever. You get those three qualities of freedom, creativity, and independence some other way, in a way that your money is taking you towards your true self, rather than to the self that you feel has been required to do these other things. So aligning your values to your money, it goes hand in hand. Having those values defined is where you start. So what are your three values? What are the three things that you value most in your life? Let's just use those three: independence, freedom, and creativity as just an example. Those are three really valid things you might want from your life. Okay, is the job that you're doing aligned to that? And if you're not working any longer, are the activities that you are doing in retirement aligned to that? Are you able to turn down or to push back on things that conflict with that now? And it's so subtle, because sometimes it could be like an opportunity to do a creative program somewhere, but you have a boss, and they have a different view from you. It goes then a little deeper, like they're not an honest person, or they're not they just don't match your value system, whatever it might be. Then you've got to decide which one of those three values is going to take priority: the creativity and independence, and not being free. But it's really, really cool. I really love that she did this article, because I think you can use your values and those kinds of life structures, the infrastructure, to make your decisions about money. Do your day-to-day actions line up with your values? So what's money's purpose in your life? What is it? What is it for? Is it to basic survival? Is it, just things that make you happy? Is it to impress someone else? You'd be surprised how much we do that without even really being aware of it. And I'm sure that many of you have gone through the same kind of transitions that I did. I know when I was working and I was earning a really good salary, I was buying stuff. And I ended up, we all have the story, right? That when I got divorced, I ended up having so many boxes of stuff that I have no idea why I bought them. I bought them because, I don't know, I just read it in a magazine that they looked cool, or it was the latest trend, or that someone else had it and I thought it was really wonderful. And it was like the instinct buying to support a lifestyle, and to support, something that I thought was valuable at the time. Now, I don't do that so much. I still do. I'm still influenced by people that are showing something on, this is a really cool thing. And just this morning, I'll tell the truth. I actually just bought a little backpack. It's like a backpack that has your phone pocket in the front, and then a small shoulder bag. And I just thought that was so cool, and I did it for one reason, is that when I travel, I want to be free, independent, and safe. And I thought having your phone right here rather than on your side or anywhere is really important. But that was a purchase made aligned with my values, and I think that's the thing that Virginia is getting to. Great name, by the way. Anyway, Virginia, thank you for the article. Thank you for the thoughts that you put into this, because I think that valuing your taking your values and aligning them to the purchases you make, the decisions that you make, the life choices, is so incredibly important for our well-being, power, and sense of freedom. And I would love your feedback on that. What do you think? Besides what your values are, that would be a really nice conversation to have. Just how does it align to your purchasing, the way you spend money, or invest money, or save it? Which one? All of them? Anyway, I hope that you're well. Have a fantastic day wherever you are, everybody. Please join our Patreon group if you are looking for a smaller group to chat with and lots of great women meeting in person in the real world. Patreon.com/60andme. And check out all our channels and know that you're loved here and appreciated. See you soon. Bye.